Hey everybody, welcome back. In this video I'm going to show you how to play both guitar solos from the classic Dire Straits song, Sultans of Swing. Now during my performance at the beginning, you may have noticed a couple of messages pop up. The first calling out that Mark Knopfler does not use a pick, and second, asking you if you will take the no pick challenge. I thought it would be fun to perform and teach this guitar solo using my fingers, but if you don't feel comfortable doing that and you want to use a pick, by all means you certainly can. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Alright, section 1 of solo 1 goes like this at normal and then slow speed. So first you're going to bend up at the 12th fret of the G string, add vibrato. And then 3 more bends up at the 12th fret of the G, and on the 3rd bend you bring it back down. Okay, so far. Then you're going to play 10th fret of G, hammer on to 12, pull off to 10 with vibrato. And then 9th fret of G, hammer on to 10, pull off to 9, vibrato. Here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, let's move to the next section. Section 2 of solo 1 goes like this, at normal and then slow speed. So we're going to start with a little string scratch on the D string, followed by, basically this is going to be an A major arpeggio, 12th fret of A, 11 of D, 9 of G, and then 10th fret of B, 9th fret of E, and then 12th fret of E, bend up half step, bring it back down. Okay, so the first box again. Then the second box, we've got another arpeggio. This is a D minor in reverse. And you're going to start by barring your index finger across the high E, B, and G strings at the 10th fret, and then play those notes. So 10th fret E, 10th fret B, 10th fret G, and then 12th fret D, vibrato. Okay? Here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, let's keep moving. Section 3 of solo 1 at normal and then slow speed. Now if you listen to the original, Mark plays very dynamically, right? And by that I mean some of the notes are played softer, some are played harder. I'm not going to go into that level of detail because this solo would take an hour to do. But listen closely and you'll hear, for example, he would play something like this. Right? It's a little more dynamic. So listen to the original if you want to get it exactly like he does with the volume changes. Anyway, so in the first box is where we're going to go. So you're going to play 10th fret of B followed by 13th fret vibrato. And then 11th fret B, hammer on to 13, pull off to 11 vibrato. And then 9th fret B, 10th fret B, vibrato. Okay, so again, the first box. Then in the second box is where we go. So you start with a little string scratch on the G string, followed by 12th fret B. And then 2 more string scratches on the G string. And then 9, 10 on the B string, add vibrato. Then you play that 10th fret note again with the vibrato, okay? So here's this section, the entire section, one more time, at normal and then slow speed. Alright, let's keep moving. Alright, section 4 of solo 1 at normal and then slow speed. Now notice that my guitar, the tone is breaking up a little bit. If you listen closely to the original when Mark plays the solo, you can hear a little bit of that natural breakup coming from his amp. So if you find like you're playing this and it sounds too clean, don't be afraid to add just a little bit of dirt in there, a tiny bit of overdrive, just a little bit. Okay, it might improve the tone. So first thing we're going to do is another string scratch on the G string, followed by a 12th fret bend on G, hold the note, and then play the 13th fret of B. Then you're going to do another 12th fret G string bend, hold it, and then at the top of that bend you're going to play 13 on the high E, 13 on the B, and then hit that 12th fret note again and bring it down. Okay? Then 10th fret G with vibrato twice. One more time slowly. All right, let's keep moving. All right, section 5 of solo 1 at normal and then slow speed. So we start by sliding up to the 13th fret of the high E, followed by 12th fret. It's a quick slide, okay? From the last position you were in, right about here. You don't want to slide way down from way down here. Just slide from where you were previously. Okay? Then 13B, 12G, and then 14G, pull off to 12. So far? And then 13th fret of the B string 3 times, and on the second and third times you're adding vibrato. Okay? One more time slowly. All right, let's keep moving. Section 6 of solo 1 at normal and then slow speed. So in the first box is where we go. So first we're going to bend up at the 13th fret of the B, add vibrato. Then when we're at the top of that bend, you're going to hit the 13th fret and bring it down. Okay? Then we're going to play 11th fret B, followed by 13th fret B, another bend. And with that final 13th fret bend in the first box, you're bending up a full step, giving it vibrato, and then bringing the bend down and pulling off to the 10th fret. Here's this first box again. Then in the second box we go. So you're going to play 13th fret of the high E, pull off to 10th fret, and then 10B, 10E, and then 13th fret, bend up, okay? Then 10th fret, high E, 10th fret B, and then 12, 10 on the G, slide down, okay? The second box again goes like this. Here's this whole section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. All right, section 7 of solo 1 goes like this at normal and then slow speed. So in the first box we play this. You know, every time I play that, I think of Woody Woodpecker. Anyway, so what you're doing is you're going to bar your index finger across the 3rd fret of the D, G, and B strings. Okay, and you play it in that order. 3rd fret D, 3rd fret G, 3rd fret B. And then 6th fret B, 3rd fret B. Okay? Then the second box goes like this. So again, you're going to be barring your finger across the D, G, and B strings, this time at the 5th fret. So you play 5th fret of D, 5th G, 5th B, but quicker. Okay? Then 6th fret of B, slide up to 8, and the 6th fret of B again. Then 5th fret B, hammer on to 6, slide up to 8. Now a lot of times when you see this tabbed, you'll see those last 3 notes, 5, 6, 8, they're all slides like this, as opposed to, okay? But again, if you watch Mark play live, now he improvises a lot live, granted, but in the early days you could see him do that. And then in the last box, we repeat what we did in the first box. Here's this whole section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. All right, section 8 is the final section of the first solo, and it goes like this at normal and then slow speed. So first we're going to play the 5th fret of the D followed by 5th fret of G, and then 7G, 5G, so far. Then we're going to play the 7th fret of the G, bend up a full step, hold the bend, and then hit the 8th fret of the B, and then hit the 7th fret G note, bring it back down. Okay? And then 5th fret G, 7th fret G, play that 7th fret note twice, vibrato, slide down. Here's the section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's move on to the second solo. Okay, section 1 of solo 2 goes like this at normal and then slow speed. First, you're going to bend up at the 12th fret of the G string and give it some vibrato. Then when you're at the top of that bend, you're going to hit the note again and bring it down with some vibrato. Okay? Then 10th fret G, 12th fret G, 10th fret G, and then 12th fret of D with vibrato twice. Here's the section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. Section 2 of solo 2 at normal and then slow speed. So in the first box we go, so you're basically bending up at the 12th fret of the G string, holding it for a tiny bit, bringing it back down and playing the note again. Second box we go like this. So you're going to play the 9th fret of the G string, hammer on to 12, pull off to 9. Then 7th fret G, hammer on to 9, pull off to 7. And then you're going to play 5th fret of G, hammer on to 7, pull off to 5. And then that 5-7-5 movement we just did, right? Playing the 5th fret, hammer on to 7, pull off to 5. Do that again on the D and A strings. Okay? So here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. All right, section 3 of solo 2 goes like this. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to play 2 little string scratches on the B string. Okay. Notice my fingering. I do my thumb for the first and then my middle for the second. Okay. So after that, you're going to play the 10th fret of the B, pull off to 8, and then 10 G, 8B. So far. And then 10th fret G, 7th fret G, add vibrato. And then you play that 7th fret note 2 more times. This is one of those parts where you can really hear the dynamicness of Mark's playing on record, right? Because he'll play some of those 7th fret notes a little bit softer than others and some louder than the others. But anyway, here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. All right, section 4 of solo 2 at normal and then slow speed. All right, so the first box, you're going to slide up to the 9th fret of the G string, and then 8th fret of B, hammer on to 10, pull off to 8, and then 9th G again. Then in the second box we play, so what you're doing there is 8th fret of the high E, 10th fret of B, pull off to 8, 9th fret of G. Okay? And I basically bar my index finger across the E and B strings when I play this. It makes it a little bit easier. And if you're curious how I'm doing it with my right hand, it looks like this. Okay. Obviously you can choose whatever fingering works most comfortably for you. And then you repeat that, those 4 notes 4 times, okay? And then finally in the last box, you're going to play 8th fret of the high E, and then 10th fret B, pull off to 8, followed by 4 string scratches on the G string. So here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. All right, section 5 is solo 2. Kind of a cool little bluesy lick, goes like this. So in the first box is where we do this. You're going to play the 12th fret of the G, bend up a full step, followed by 10B, 10E, and then 13B, pull off to 10, and then 12G. And then this is optional, but a little bit of a really quiet string scratch on the B string, okay? Now that little string scratch is very faint and quiet in the mix. A lot of times people will either completely skip it, or they'll replace it with the 10th fret of the B string, so do whatever sounds best to you, okay? So again, the first box. Then the second box, so you're playing 12th fret of the G, pull off to the 10th fret, and then 12th fret of D, and then a little string scratch on G, okay? Again, you can replace that last note with the 10th fret of the G if you want. Like. Then in the final box we play, so you're playing the 10th fret of the D, hammer on to 12, and then 10G, 10B, 12th fret, G, vibrato, okay? Now if you wanted to replace those scratch notes with those 10th fret notes that I told you about a minute ago, it would sound like this. Or if you wanted to play it without the scratch notes, it would sound like this. So certainly play whatever feels most comfortable for you. One more time, here's how I play it slowly. All right, let's keep moving. All right, here's section 6 of solo 2 at normal and then slow speed. So in the first box, we play, so you're playing 10th fret G, 12th fret G, and then 10th fret B vibrato, okay? And then similarly in the second box, we do that 10, 12 again on the G, followed by 11 on B with vibrato. Okay, so far. Then in the final box is where we play. So first you've got a little string scratch on the G string, and then you're going to bend up at the 11th fret of the B string, a full step, hold it, and then at the top of that held bend, you're going to play the 12th fret of the high E, and then the 11th fret note, bring it down. Okay? And then 10th fret of the high E, and then 2 little string scratches on the B and G strings. So here is this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. Now we get into the kind of outro, if you will, of the second solo, which has got a little neoclassical type flavor to it. But it goes like this at normal and then slow speed. All right, so in the first box, I recommend that you bar your finger across the B and E strings to start. Then you're going to play 13th fret of the high E, pull off to 10, and then 10 B, 10 E. Okay? And you play that 4 times. Now, in case you're curious how I'm doing the finger picking there, I decided in this particular section that I would do it like Mark does it, just for fun. So what he's doing is he's hitting that first note before he pulls off with his thumb. And then when he switches to the B string, he uses his thumb again. And then middle finger on the high E. Okay? So watch my fingering. I'll play it slowly. Okay? See how he's using the thumb? I'm using my thumb and middle finger. That's how I've seen Mark play it, so I thought it would be fun to play it his way. And again, you repeat that 4 times. Then you're going to play a similar little phrase here, but instead of the 10th fret of the B, it's the 11th fret of B. Okay? You play that 3 times. And then one more 13th fret of the high E. Here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Now, one other piece of advice that I have for you is that if you find that playing with this clean tone, that the notes just aren't sustaining well enough during this section for some reason, I recommend trying like maybe a boost pedal or a light, maybe light, super light overdrive, right? Where you've got the level all the way up and the gain all the way down. Something like that might help with this section if you're struggling with it to get the notes to really ring out. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, let's move to the next section. In this next section, we continue on with that neoclassical type of phrasing there, and it goes like this, at normal and then slow speed. So the first box, you're going to play 13B, followed by 12th fret E. Then you get into a repeating pattern. We're going to play 15th fret of the high E, pull off to 12, and then 13B, 12E. And you take that pattern, you play it 7 times total, okay? And then finally, one more 15th fret of the high E. Here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. So the next section goes like this at normal and then slow speed. So this is very similar to the section before the last one, right? So you're going to be having your index finger barred across the 10th fret of the B and E strings. And you start by playing 10B, 10E, followed by, in the second box, 13th fret of the high E, pull off to 10, and then 10B, 10E, okay? And you play that 4 times. And then you're going to shift your 10th fret B to 11th fret B, okay? So it's 13, high E, pull off to 10, 11th fret B, 10th fret E. Play that 3 times. And then finally 13th fret of high E. Here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, let's keep moving. So the next section goes like this at normal and then slow speed. All right, now in this section, it's very similar to the one before the last one, once again. And we're going to start with the 13th fret of the B, followed by 12th fret of the E in that first box. Then in the second box, we're going to play 15th fret of the high E, pull off to 12, 13th fret B, 12E, okay? You play that a total of 7 times. And then finally in the last box, 15 of high E, pull off to 12, 13 of B. Here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. All right, guys, we're getting close. This is section 11 of Solo 2. Goes like this at normal and then slow speed. So we start with a 15th fret high E bend with vibrato, followed by another 15th fret high E bend, but this time no vibrato, just bend up and down. Okay, so far. And then 13 of the high E, 15, 13, 15 of B vibrato. Okay. One more time, slowly. All right, let's move to the final section of Solo 2. All right, the final section, section 12 of Solo 2, goes like this at normal and then slow speed. So for the first box, we play this. Now I know that bend sounds kind of funny, but I'll explain in a second. First, you're going to play 13th fret of high E, 13th fret of B. Then for that bend, you're going to bend up at the 15th fret of the high E. And at the top of the bend, you're going to add vibrato as you're bringing the bend down. It sounds kind of funny, but that's what's going on. Then in the second box, we play this. So basically what you're doing is 12th fret of the high E, hammer on to 15, pull off to 12. 13 on B, hammer on to 15, pull off to 13. 10th fret of the B, hammer on to 13, pull off to 10. 9th fret of G, hammer on to 12, pull off to 9. 10th fret of D, hammer on to 12, pull off to 10. Okay. Now those notes are kind of quiet toward the very end as it's fading out, but when I slow down the original, boost the volume, and listen carefully, that's what I hear. So here's this section one more time at normal and then slow speed. Alright, that was my lesson on how to play both guitar solos from the classic Dire Straits song, Sultans of Swing. If you found it helpful, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button if you've not done so already. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will attempt to answer them as time allows. Until next time, rock on.